Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron Earl, and welcome back to the Ultimate Villainous Tournament. It's been a while. It has definitely been a while since we last convened in this tournament. This will be round 5 of the tournament. And how many matches are we looking at in total till this tournament is over? Let's go look at paper. We got 1, 2, we got 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 matches. We are on the 5th one. Putting these tournament videos out a lot slower than I wanted to, but I've been busy, and you know how it is. But we are finally back with the next game, still in round 1, match 2 or match 5. I mean, round 1, match 5. This will be Madam Mim versus Pete versus Prince John versus Ursala from Introduction to Evil versus Captain Hook. So we got 2 villains from Worst Takes It All, 1 villain from Introduction to Evil, 1 villain from Perfectly Wretched, and 1 villain from Bigger and Badder, who will be our starting lady here. And her first transformation is going to be Rabbit Merlin. That's really good for her because she actually got lucky enough to start her turn with 3 transformations, and one of them is Fox Mim. I'm going to go over, gain 2, spend 2, play Fox Mim, move Rabbit Merlin over, and vanquish him right off the bat. First turn, already getting a transformation out. Looking really good for Madam Mim already. And we start off with Turtle Merlin. Oh, it hurts. Because she also has Crocodile, but not enough money or actions to play it. And the card we draw is yet again another transformation. It is Tiger Mim. Alright, really good starting turn for Madam Mim already. Now we're over to Pete, who, out of all the villains on this table right now, he is definitely my favorite to play. I really like playing Pete. So, let's see what we got here. We're starting off with a Bandit, a Parrot, a Jalopy, and Sneaky Pete. I did not look at what his goals are. Let's see, this goal we got. Win big, gain at least 4 power from play a game. My least favorite one. Power play, spend at least 6 power in 1 turn while Pete is at this location. Okay. Not the best location for that, but that's the easiest goal in the game. Rule to Realm, start your turn with more allies than heroes at each location. And finally, we got Round Up, start your turn with allies holding 10 or more strength at this location. Okay, thank God we dodged the item one, but unfortunately we do still have Win Big on the board, which does suck. So honestly, we don't need the Jalopy. So I think I'm going to start trying to get allies out. I'm just going to go to Podunk, gain 3, spend 1. I'll play a Parrot to the service station, and I will discard 1 card. Well, actually, no. No, put those back. Put those back. I actually got an idea. I'm going to see if I can guarantee Win Big here. I'm going to play Sneaky Pete first. So I put the 2 cards into my hand and put 1 card from my hand on top and bottom of my deck. I got a Parrot and a Horse. I'm going to put Jalopy on the top. And we're going to try to keep that in our hand until we get to play a game. Yeah, the Sneaky Pete at the same time. Alright. That's going to be it for Pete, actually. Because I don't want to end up having to draw anything. Alright, over here now to Prince John, who's on the Radigan puzzle that I still have not framed yet. Can't find the right frame. I want them all the frames to look the same, but it's not happening. I don't think. Alright. So, yeah, okay, this is normal. This is normal. Prince John. This isn't the Defeat Robin Hood one. So, I'm just going to go to the jail, gain 3, spend 2 to play some of them Wolf Archers to Friar Tuck's Church. That'll let me gain 1 power. He already started with 2. Now I'm going to start the rest of my hand because I don't really need it. 2, 3, 4. Right, this card goes back on top, and we get Intimidation, Rhino Guards, Wolf Archers, and Imprison. Alright, over here now to Introduction to Evil's version of Ursala. What I argue is the superior version of Ursala for this game. But, to each their own. And she started off with Flotsam and 3 binding contracts. So I think I'm actually going to go over to the short, gain 3, spend 4. So I'm just going to play a binding contract to my most used locations, Eric's ship and the shore. And that is going to be it for Ursula. I don't think I need a discard. I think I should get as many binding contracts on the board as possible. Yeah, what does change form do now? Look at the top 3 cards of your fate deck, discard 1, put 1 on the bottom of your fate deck, put 1 back on the top. Oh, okay. Some easy manipulation there. And we get over to my the first villain I ever played, Captain Hook. Who seems really far away from the table now. Huh. Alright, Captain Hook. Let's see here. So, we don't have a great starting hand, actually. We start with Shmi and 2 Isers and a Cunning. Nobody has a 4-strength ally out already. But, so, I'm going to go to Skull Rock. I'm going to discard 3 cards, and I'm going to spend 2 to play, gain 1 and spend 2 to play Shmi. To the Jolly Roger, that's going to give him 2 strength, and that's going to be it for Captain Hook. Don't need the Fate yet. And, where did I put... I had the bag with all their... We get a boarding party, a swashbuckler, the Neverland map, and a cutlass. Alright, speaking of fading, I gotta find the bag with their tokens in it. Where did I put... Oh, I found it. Alright. I gotta take the tripod way back over here. So, if this is your first match of the tournament that you are watching, hi, I'm Cameron Earl. This is the Ultimate Villainous Tournament. That is looking like this. So basically, it starts off with 6 rounds, 6 5-player rounds. I take the first 4 villains to complete their goal from the 5, and then I kind of work my way down until there's only 1. I randomize the villains each time to make completely new matchups, hopefully. Most of the villains will go against villains they had not gone against yet. And then eventually I work my way on, it's an elimination tournament, but it's huge. And how I fate is sometimes, if the answer isn't obvious on who to fate, I have all their names in these tokens. I got these off of Laserland on Etsy. If it's not obvious who to fate, I kind of just draw from a bag. Back over to Madam Mim, who's just getting the best luck. I'm going to go to Woods. Gain 2. I'm going to spend 2 to play Chicken Mim to Madam Mim's cottage. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I really need to find a way to gain a good amount of money with Mim. Obviously, there's as big as a house card, but we have not drawn that yet. Alright, back over to Pete now. Let's see what we got. So I did not draw play a game. So it's not really working out. I think I'm just going to go... I'm going to go to Frontier Town anyway. I'm going to gain 2 and spend 1. I'm going to play a horse to the service station. That's all I'm going to do. So I draw the Jalopy again, which kind of sucks. Wait, where's the play? Jalopy has to be played to the service station? If I get another item, I could use these for the win big instead of, or the power play instead of the 3 bandits. But we shall see how it works out. But there's definitely some villains who are moving pretty fast right now, being Madam Mim and Captain Hook. Alright, Prince John, not much we could do except gain power, so I think I just want to cover my board in Wolf Archers and then focus on power. So I'm going to go here, gain 2, spend 2 to play some Wolf Archers. And that will be it. We draw a Warrant. A Warrant is always nice. And now over to Ursula. I kind of want to play that change form card, but at the same time, I just want to get all these binding contracts out of my hand. Yeah, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to go over to the palace, gain 2, spend 2. I'm going to play the Ursula's Lair binding contract, and that will be it. We get another change form card, and now it is over to Captain Hook. Alright. Captain Hook, all he got is Shmi right now, who does have that delicious +2 strength. Going to Mermaid Lagoon, immediately gaining 3 and spending 4 to play the Neverland map. That is going to unlock that. And then I'll just spend 1 to put a Swashbuckler to the Jolly Roger. So get cards out of my hand. And we draw a cannon and a cutlass. Alright, we have not gotten anything to go through our hero deck yet. Our fate deck. Now, of course, there's this match, and then there's round 6, which will conclude, or then there's match 6, which will conclude the first round of matches, the first 6. Then I will, obviously take out of the pool all of the villains that lost, which there will only be 6. And then I'm going to re-randomize all the villains to make 6 entirely new matchups. Mostly entirely new. Some villains might go against 1 or 2 of the same villains they went against. But it's all going to be completely randomized. It's not just going to be like, oh, if one of these villains lose, then the 4 winning villains are going to go against each other. No, I want to keep it unique. I don't want to play the same characters against the same characters over and over again. Alright. Go to Madam Mim's cottage. Gain 2, spend 2 to play Crocodile. Vanquish the turtle with Crocodile. And our next transformation is Mouse. Wow, it just keeps getting better and better. Alright. That did cost 2. That's going to be it for Madam Mim then. Just gain a whole bunch of good luck. Might be time to start fading here shortly. Of course, Captain Hook's progressed a lot. He's already got half of what he needs out. The problem is if you fate him and accidentally pull Peter Pan, you are going to have to immediately play Peter Pan. Captain Hook's a character that you don't really want to fate that often until he has Peter Pan out. Go to Podunk Landing, gain 3. I'm going to just play 1 Parrot. And I'm going to play Sneaky Pete that I got from my discard pile because of the Parrot. Draw 2 into my hand. I get Sneaky Pete and the Cricket. I don't like any of these. So I'm going to put... Cricket. I'm going to put Parrot on the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to put Parrot on the bottom. And then... I can't play anything else. So that's going to be it. Really just trying to go for the... Like, I almost considered putting the Cricket on the bottom of the deck, but then I realized I had the Roundup goal. Or what is it called? The Roll the Realm goal, and the Cricket's used for that. I like Pete because a lot of these villains, it's kind of like, you do the same thing every game. Pretty much every game goes the same way. Pete, you can do anything in any order you want. I think Pete's really fun. He's a wild card. Alright. Pretty sure we got a Warren and Imprison, a Rhino Guard, and an Intimidation. I'm going to go to the jail. I'm going to gain 3, spend 1. I'm going to play a Warrant to Nottingham. And discard the rest of my hand. And that's going to give me 2 power. He is at 5 now. I believe so, yes. We're going to draw back up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, what do we get with Prince John? We get Sheriff Nottingham, another Warrant, a Bow and Arrow, and King Richard's Crown. Ooh, really good hand. Really good hand with Prince John there. Of course, I say the villains that probably have the biggest advantage here are Madam Mim and Prince John, because while Prince John's not very powerful on a one-on-one scenario or even a 3-player scenario, he is pretty powerful in the 4, 5, and 6-player games. His Fate deck doesn't hurt him that much. I'm going to go over to the shore. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to start off by spending 2 to play Change Form, just for fun. So what is it? Look at the top 3 cards of the Fate deck. Put 1. Discard 1, put 1 on the bottom, put 1 on the top. Alright, we got return to form, return to form. Villain items cannot be moved to Sebastian's location. I'm going to put... Okay, because if I discard one of these... If I discard Sebastian, I have to put one of these on top and I'll just bring Sebastian back anyway. So if I don't want Sebastian, the most logical thing would be to put him on the bottom. So I'm going to put 1 return to form on the bottom, or on the top. I'm going to discard 1. And then I'm going to place Sebastian on the bottom. Alright. And finally, I can play another card. I'm just going to spend 2. I'm going to get Flotsam out board. And just to fill my board, I'll place him to the palace. And then I will discard a change form. I don't think I need it right now. And that'll be it. We draw Arrogance, the Crown, and Grow Giant. What does the Crown do? The Crown can only be played to the palace. Alright, yep, they took the Crown and the Trident's ability away just to make it so that they can only be played to a certain location. Although, I do admit, I like what you had to do with the Trident with old Ursula. But I was not a fan of the fact that you had to play the Crown. You could just play the Crown anywhere you wanted to. That was one thing. Alright, back to Captain Hook. Not a lot we can do at all, actually. So I think I'm going to go to Skull Rock. I'm going to gain 1. I'm going to discard 2 cards. And I think I'm going to take the first Fate of the game, and I think the logical one to Fate would be Madam Mim. Madam Mim is going to get fated, but her Fate deck sucks. So what do I get? Archimedes and Bird Arthur. Man, it's kind of a toss-up of what I would want to do here. I don't know, do I roll a die? I think I roll a die to see what I do here, because I would like to play both. So, let me find my dice. Alright. Alright, so if I roll an even number, I have to play Archimedes. If I roll an odd number, I have to play Bird Arthur. Alright, and I believe that is a 6. Yeah, because that's the one. That is a 6. That is an even number, which means that Archimedes is being played. Alright, being that Madam Mim, let's draw back up with Captain Hook real quick. Swashbuckler and another cannon. And then let's go over to Madam Mim, finish this Fate action, and then also take her turn. Alright. So Archimedes, draw a Merlin transformation and play it to the same location as another Merlin transformation. Shuffle the previously played transformation in that location back into the Merlin deck. We draw Crab Merlin, and Mouse gets shuffled back in. Although, how can you shuffle 4 cards that well? Just like that. Alright. Now it's Madam Mim's turn. She has I'll make the rules, Battle of the Wits, Tiger Mim, Wizard's Duel. Alright, how about this? Let's go to the woods. Let's gain 2. And let's just spend 1. And let's get Tiger Mim out on the board somewhere. Let's play Tiger Mim to the swamp. Might as well start trying to get all these transformations out. And does Madam Mim want to feint anybody before I draw back up? No. Actually, I think if I was Madam Mim, I'd probably keep the Fate token because not as many people are progressing along as fast as she is. And she is definitely still the primary target right now, I feel. Alright. I'm going to take Pete to the airport. I'm going to play Sneaky Pete. Draw 2 into my hand. We finally get play a game. In that case, I'm going to put Jalopy on top. And that is going to be my turn. Maybe. I have a fade action, right? Does Pete want to fade anybody? I don't believe so. I think I'm just going to, well, I don't know. Let's see what the bag decides. If what I draw is Pete or Madam Mim, then the fade action doesn't go through. Alright. I draw Prince John. Prince John is getting faded. Oh. Alright. The fate token is going to teleport over this way. And it is Prince John's turn next, so we might as well just walk over here. And let's see what we get. Fading Prince John, Maid Marian, and Toby. I want to play Maid Marian. And, yeah. Play her right to Friar Tuck's church. Put her where it hurts. Put her where Prince John will want to kill her. Alright. So I'm going to go to Sherwood Forest, gain 1. I'm going to spend 1 to play King Richard's Crown to the jail. And I'll discard a bow and arrow. I don't see a scenario where I have to really play it. We draw a golden arrow and a rhino guard. Alright. Over here now. Let's see what we get here. Alright, we got the crown in our hand. And it is very cheap. It is a very cheap item. But I think I actually want to... I want to gain some power before I spend it all. Go to the palace, gain 2. I'm going to spend 1 to play Grow Giant to gain 3. So that'll be 4 power. Who knows? Maybe I'll draw a trident this turn. Oh, and I just dropped a coin. Alright. No heroes to move. Don't really need to move any allies. So we're just going to draw it up, and we get Opportunist. My dogs might see somebody they don't like. They're going to start barking. Alright, Captain Hook's turn. Captain Hook should be progressing nicely, but he's just not getting the right cards that he needs. I'm going to go Mermaid Lagoon. I'm going to gain 3, spend 2. Actually, no. I'm going to discard the Neverland map to play a cannon for free. Then I'm going to spend 2 to play a boarding party to Skull Rock. And that'll be it. We finally Give Them a Scare and another boarding party. Finally got Give Them a Scare. Alright. Back over here now to Madam Mim. And still kind of just want to... Let's see. Now I don't got a lot of cards that I care about keeping that much, so I'm going to go to Swamp. I'm going to gain 1, spend 2, and I'm going to play Battle of the Wits. Draw 4 cards from your deck, then discard 4 cards from your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And discard 4 cards from my hand, even though I think it should be just 3. I think it should be just 3 cards. Alright. I'm not cheating. I don't need a Sporting Chance. And I don't need Magnificent Marvelous Man. I don't need those. I get it. Oh, I gotta discard a 4th one. I'll discard another I'm not cheating then. Alright. And then I draw back up. And I get I'm not cheating. Alright. Well. At least we've made it definitively clear that I'm not cheating, I guess. Back over to Pete. I think is finally going to have a serious development on his goal. I'm going to go to Frontier Town, gain 2, spend 2 to play a game, Jalopy, and Mischief, no! Bested by the condition once more. We only get 3 power from that. That is the worst feeling. That's why this is my least favorite goal of his. Because every time you get a good card, it just gets botched by a freaking condition. That sucks. Ooh, not having a good game with Pete right now. Definitely not. Not even getting the bandits I need. I've only drawn one bandit so far. I would definitely like to be drawing more bandits. More bandits would be really nice. Alright. Back to Prince John. I'm going to go to jail, gain 3. I'm going to spend 2 because of King Richard's crown to play Sheriff of Nottingham to the jail. And I'm going to discard 1 card. Draw back up. We get Trigger and beautiful, lovely Texas. Alright. We're here now to Ursala. We did not draw the Trident. So I'm just going to go to the shore. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to spend 2 because I will play the crown to the palace. I'm going to discard 2, and I'm going to spend another 2. I'm going to play another binding contract to the shore. And draw back up. We're getting a whole fresh hand here. I'm drawing Divination, Arrogance, another binding contract, Eric Ship, and change form. Alright. Well, let's see if we can use Divination next turn to our advantage. Alright. We're here to Captain Hook now. Finally got Give Them a Scare. Finally got that. So, let's go to Skull Rock. Gain 1. I'm gonna... I don't need another Swashbuckler. I'm gonna discard 1. I mostly came here for the discard action. Gain 1, spend 1 to play Give Them a Scare. To look at the top 2 cards of my Fate deck, put them back down at any order, or discard them both. Splitting Headache or Lost Boys. I don't want any of those. So, they are... It's a big old Noperino for me. They are going down. And we draw a Pirate Brute and a Worthy Opponent. I really don't want to use a Worthy Opponent this early, but we might be forced to. Alright. Back over here now. I'm going to go to the woods. Well, yeah, I'm going to go to woods. Gain 2. I'm going to spend 1 to play I'm Not Cheating. Because I might actually be able to use it for something. Okay, what do we draw? Walrus, which we don't have the transformation for, and Mouse, which we do. So I'm going to put Mouse on top. Walrus can be next. Alright. Use that card in the way it should be used. And that will be... Huh. I think before I draw up, I'm actually going to Fate Ursala. Ursala has the crown already. Alright, we got Return to Form and Dingle Hopper, both of which we cannot use. That is a dead Fate. And Ursala has the Fate token from it. Backfired to Madam Mim, pretty much. And the card we draw is As Big as a House, finally. Got an As Big as a House card. There's 3 of those, and we have yet to draw a single one. Hey, same thing with Pete's Bandits. There's like 7 of those in his deck, and we've only drawn 1 so far. Note that we've we really haven't gone through much of this deck at all. We've gone through actually about a third of it, a little more. Oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot. What happened there? I think what I'm going to do... I'm going to go to Frontier. I'm going to go to Podunk Landing. Gain 3. I'm going to spend 1 to play a Parrot to the airport. I'm going to use that to get a Sneaky Pete out of my discard pile, and I'm going to play it immediately. Draw 2, put 1 card from my hand on the top or bottom of the deck. I'm just gonna put play game on the top of the deck because I drew another one. I also drew Outrage. But I would definitely much rather just discard this card to... No, don't discard it. I'll end up drawing that play game card anyway. What am I doing? Keep it for now. Keep it for now. Alright. Hopefully next turn will be Pete's turn. Now, of course, if I was playing against Pete in this scenario and didn't already know what was going on, I feel like I'd be able to guess 2 of his goals already. Definitely to play a game 1 and probably definitely rule the realm. That's because when you play Villainous a lot, and you know every character, Pete is one of those characters where, yeah, you don't even have to play any of the fake cards that'll tell you what his goals are. You'll already know. Alright. I'm going to start off this turn by moving Sheriff over to Friar Tuck's Church, and using that to gain 1 power from Maid Marian. He's collecting Texas. I'm going to go... I'm going to go over to Friar Tuck's Church. I'm going to move Sheriff over to Sherwood Forest. And I'm going to attach a golden arrow to these wolf archers here. For free. And that'll be it. We draw a Set a Trap card. Got none of the greed cards from Prince John yet, which is interesting. I mean, it's just interesting for me. I mean, they could all be at the bottom of the deck, but typically when I play Prince John, I get them right at the beginning of the game when they're useless. Alright. So Ursula is in quite the pickle right now. I think I'm going to go to Eric's ship. Gain 1, spend 1 to play Divination, reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a binding contract. And I'm pretty sure there's actually only 1 more in here. It's the red one. Put that into my hand, discard the rest. There it is. Binding contract to the palace. Still did not get the trident. Wonder where that's at. And I'm going to discard 2 cards. I still have both of these binding contracts, and I'm going to draw back up. I get Opportunist and Poor Unfortunate Souls. Alright. Yeah, the trident is in this little stack of cards here somewhere. Alright. Alright, Captain Hook's turn. I think I'm just going to straight up go to Mermaid Lagoon, gain 3, spend 3, and oh no, I dropped a card. I'm going to play the Pirate Brute to here, and I'll spend my other 2, and I'll put a boarding party to... I'll put a boarding party to the Lost Boys Hide, or the Mermaid Lagoon, then I'm going to move this boarding party over as well. So we have every location covered by a bunch of strength. We draw up, we get a Hook's Case, and give them a scare. Thank God we got to give them a scare. Alright. Back over to Madam Mim again. Captain Hook did gain 2, so I'm going to play as big as a house. That is a condition. I'm going to go to Madam Mim's Cottage. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to spend 4 to play I'll Make the Rules to get rid of Crab Merlin. That is going to summon the next transformation, which will be Mouse. I'm going to use the Move Hero action to move Mouse over. I'm going to use Chicken Mim's Vanquish action to vanquish Mouse Merlin with Tiger Mim. And the next one coming out is Walrus, as we already knew. And that is a really good turn for Madam Mim. And we go back. She gets another big house. She has 3 Wizard Stolen in her hand at this point. I think Madam Mim's definitely about to be the subject of some fates. But first, let's see what happens with Pete over here. Pete is going to go over to Frontier Town, and he is going to once again spend 2 to play a game. Play a game, and Bandit! Yes! Alright. We get 4 power from play a game. So far in the game, we got so much power, so much money. This is the money that Prince John Witchy had at this point. We finally get 4 power from play a game, which lets us complete our first goal, win big, gain 4 power from play a game at this location. And that is going to be it for Pete. We draw Mischief. Alright. Now, Prince John is going to first... Man, what happened here? Prince John is going to first move the Sheriff back to gain a power from Madam Mim. He is at 8 power now. Then I'm going to go to the jail, gain 3, spend nothing because of King Richard's crown, to play a warrant to Sherwood Forest. Alright, he is now at 11 power. And he has a discard. I'm going to discard Trigger and set a trap. And we're going to draw Bow and Arrows, Greed, and Beautiful Lovely Taxes. Maid Marian is still there. She never left. Alright. Back to Ursula's turn now. I think I'm actually just going to go to the shore, and we might as well just stock up on all our binding contracts. Gain 3, spend 4, play this binding contract, and the other 2 power that we spent is going to the palace, and now we got we got all the colors of the rainbow on the board. And then I'm going to discard the rest of my hand, and we're going to draw back up. 2, 3, 4, and we end up drawing Jetsam, Whirlpool, Trident, and the Cauldron. Alright, what does the Trident do? Trident can only be played to the shore? Yeah. Yeah, it's just that it can only be played to card. Alright, over to Captain Hook now, who is also having some developments in his evil plan. You're going to go to Skull Rock, gain 1, spend 1 to play Give Him a Scare. Alright, let's see what we got here. Michael and Pixie Dust. Those aren't bad, but they're not Peter Pan, so they are getting thrown into the abyss. I'm going to discard 1 card, and I'm going to Fate Mim. Been a minute since we've had a Fate action here, but it is going to be Madam Mim. We get Merlin and Knowledge and Wisdom. Of course, the right choice here is definitely Merlin. To randomly choose 1 card from the Merlin Transformation discard pile and put it into the Merlin Transformation deck. Then shuffle it. Being that it is Madam Mim's turn next, we will do that when we get over there. And we draw Ingenious Device and Boarding Party. Definitely say at this point, I think this game is on track to have Pete and Captain Hook be the final 2, squaring off with one another. So first things first, we choose a random transformation to shuffle back into the deck. Alright, that'll be the 1. Now, I could look through these discarded cards to just see which one is getting shuffled back in. But I'm not going to do that. So, the one that we know that's not going to shuffle back in is Rabbit Merlin, which was the first one taken out. And we're just going to shuffle these back up. Alright. And now it's time to take her turn. We got Walrus. Ursula did. A bunch of people gain more than 2 power, so I'm going to play as big as a house. And I think I'm just going to go over to the swamp, gain 1, spend 2, because I'm going to play 2 Wizard's Duels to draw 2 transformation cards. Caterpillar and Crab. Alright, Crab was the one who was shuffled. Oh, no, wait, no, it was Crab who was shuffled back in then. The final one is the GOAT! The GOAT! I don't really think I need this Wizard's Duel card, so I'm going to discard it. And we're going to draw back up. We get, I'll make the rules, Rhinoceros, and a Sporting Chance. Alright. Over to Pete now. Who's got a gargantuan mountain of power. Let's see, Ursula did gain 3 power, so I'm going to play Mischief. You may play Mischief, draw 2 cards from the bottom of your deck to put 1 card from your hand on the top or bottom of your deck. I got a Bandit and a Parrot. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to put this on the bottom. I'm going to go to Podunk. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to spend 1 to play a Parrot to Podunk. And I'm going to use that to get a Bandit out of my discard pile. And I could play another card. So I think I'm just going to spend 1 and I'm going to play a Cricket to the service station. How much power we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 power. So we were up to 19 at one point this turn. We're going to draw back up. We draw a Play a Game card. And now somebody at the table has already guessed what Pete's 1 goal is. So Pete is also going to need Faded at some point. Alright. He definitely has 6 power, so we're going to play Greed. So Prince John gains 3 power. Prince John 2 is also getting close to that 20 power goal that he wants so desperately. I'm going to go... I'm going to move the Sheriff of Nottingham. Or... You know what? Let's put him in Nottingham then. I'm going to go over to Sherwood Forest. I'm going to play Beautiful Lovely Taxes and also gain 1. That's going to give me... Beautiful Lovely Taxes is going to gain me 1 power as well. He's at 16 power. And then we are going to discard a Bow and Arrow. And I'm going to Fate Pete. What do we draw for Pete? We draw a Horus Horsecaller and a Knocked Silly. I think we just play Horus Horsecaller. Doesn't really matter where we play him, but let's cover up his top fate at the airport. I will move Cricket there. So that didn't really do anything, but actually I can move the Parrot out of the location with Horus Horsecaller. So I think I will move. I'll move Parrot to Frontier Town, and Cricket will go to the airport. All right. The thing with Pete is his ally goals are often the hardest because of all the cards that move item and allies in his deck. Alright, back over to Ursula here. We do got the Trident. We also got Jetsam. Alright. The Cauldron is blatantly useless at this point. So I think I just go to the Palace. I move the Crown over. And I gain 2. I spend 4, and I play the Trident. And that will be it. We draw a Trickery. Okay. Captain Hook, we did not get anything too spectacular. I am going to, however, go over to Lost Boys Hideout, gain 2, and I'll spend 2 to play Ingenious Device to the Lost Boys Hideout. And I will fate... there's a lot of people to fate. It's like Madam Mim still has 4 whole transformations to take out. She's not going to win in 1 or 2 turns. Prince John's getting really close. Pete can't be fated. I think Prince John's the way to go. I think the way to go is to fate Prince John. We draw Alan Adale. And we draw Robin Hood. I'm gonna play Robin Hood to the worst location possible. The jail. Absolutely no point for Prince John to ever put anything there. And he doesn't get touched by any of the warrants. So we're going to draw back up. Hook's case. And now Prince John is going to gain 1 less power from everything, which means that the Sheriff of Nottingham is also going to be useless. Alright. Back over to Mim here. Alright. I think just go to... I'm going to have Rhinoceros here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go to Mim's Cottage, gain 2, spend 2 to play Rhinoceros, move Crab over, defeat him. It's going to draw the next transformation, which is the GOAT. Rhinoceros is gone, and then I'm going to move Chicken Mim over to the dueling ground. And that is going to be it. We are going to draw Elephant Mim. All right. Over to Pete now. All right, we do not get our roundup goal. However, I am going to go to the service station, gain 1. I'm going to spend 6 power. You've never played Pete before. You never played Pete before, seen Pete played before. You can play as many bandits as you want as part of 1 play card action. So I'm going to put a bandit here. A bandit here. And a bandit here. Alright, there we go. That is also going to give me power play. Spend 6 power in 1 turn while at this location. And I don't need play game, so I'm going to discard it. And I am going to fate... I shall fate... Let's see here. I mean, come on, I gotta... you know what, let's try our hand with Ursula. Again. We got Snarfblat, which I can't play, so I have to play Scuttle. When Scuttle is played, choose an item from Ursula's discard pile and attach it to Scuttle. Well, I'll attach Snarfblat to him, and Snarfblat will actually make him have to be defeated first. And I'm going to put him all the way at Ursula's lair, so when we get back over there, you will see Scuttle there. And we're going to draw back up. 4 cards. Let's see what we get. Bandit, 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 Airstrike. Wow, a lot of bandits. All right. So Pete's looking like one of the most dangerous competitors at this point. Let's go over here. Oh, I forgot to drop with Prince John last turn. We got Beautiful, Lovely, Taxes, Greed, Warrant. I would have played Greed during Pete's turn, but I'm only going to get 2 from that because of Robin Hood. I can definitely still win with Robin Hood on the board, can't I? Yeah, I can. Yeah, so I'm actually just going to go over to the jail and gain 3, but I'm only going to gain 2. That'll actually put Prince John at win condition if... Well, I'm going to discard 2 cards. I'm going to discard actually everything. See if I can get some allies here to maybe take Robin Hood out. We got Rhino Guards, Wolf Archers, Sir Hiss, and Imprison. Alright, he is at 20 power. If we can't stop him from that by next turn, then he is going to be our first winner of the whole thing. Ursala here. Well, Ursala does have Trickery. Player has 6 more power, you with Trickery, reveal and play the top card of that player's Fate deck. Lady Cluck. I think I just play her to Nottingham. He is going to gain 1 power from that warrant, though. Big stretch over there. But 1 power is not going to do much if we take 4 from him. So I'm going to go... Who has the Fate token right now? Oh, Ursala does. I'm going to go to Eric's ship. Gain 1, I'm going to spend 2 to play Jetsam. And I'm going to Vanquish Scuttle. Makes me discard 1 of these binding contracts. Jetsam is not discarded. Scuttle is gone. And I'm going to discard that card. And before we draw up, I'm just going to Fate Prince John real quick. It's Fate token. We draw King Richard and Friar Tuck. Oh, I'm going to play Friar Tuck to Sherwood Forest. Friar Tuck is going to get rid of all those warrants, and Prince John's not going to gain any power from them. Oh. King Richard would have been good, but, I mean, Friar Tuck is just good at getting rid of those warrants, and, oh, we don't really want the warrants on the board right now. We're going to draw back up. The last 4 cards in our deck looks like Ursula's going to be the first one who has to reshuffle. We get Grow Giant, Divination, and Whirlpool. Alright. Now over here to Captain Hook. Let's see here. Not the best circumstances that we're under here. I think I shall go to... I really just need everything that I'm not getting. I'm going to go Skull Rock, gain 1. I'm going to discard 3. I'm going to play Worthy Opponent. That's going to give me 2 power, so I gain 3 total. This turn, reveal cards from the top of my deck until I reveal a hero. Play that hero to any location. Discard the rest. Wendy. Don't want Wendy. I'm going to play Wendy to the Jolly Roger. All our heroes in my realm will get +1 strength. Alright, and we are going to draw back up. We get 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get Give Them a Scare, Swashbuckler, Obsession, Pirate. This is our last Give Them a Scare. If we don't get it, Peter Pan, next Give Them a Scare, we're going to have to rely solely on worthy opponents. Because I don't think the Obsession card is going to work out. I would hate to have to reshuffle my deck and go through again. Just be really bad for Captain Hook. Alright. Madam Mim does have... Oh, wait. Captain Hook was supposed to Fate. I was going to have him Fate Pete. Yeah. Oh, crap. Yeah, he was supposed to Fate. We get Goofy and Outlawed. I was going to play Goofy to the airport. When Goofy is played, you may switch locations of 2 adjacent gold tokens or move 1 gold token. I don't see why not. Switch them for fun. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. It's not gonna do anything, regardless, for either of them. Alright. Ursala did take a Vanquish action, so I'm going to play a Sporting Chance real quick. Choose any card from your discard pile and put it into your hand. Ooh, what do I want? I would have taken as big as a house, and Captain Hook did gain 2 power, so I'm going to play it and gain 2 power. Alright. I'm going to go over to Dueling Ground, and I am just going to Vanquish Caterpillar with Chicken Mim. And also gain 1. Yeah, gain 1 power. Alright, and I can Fate somebody. I wanna Fate with somebody. Fate Prince John again. This is pretty much our last attempt. We get Clever Disguise and Little John. Alright. I'm going to play Little John to Sherwood, and he is going to take 4 power from Prince John. That's going to knock him down to 17 power. I do like playing the introduction to evil version of Prince John more than normal old Prince John, but my biggest gripe with it is that who drew a Magnificent Marvelous Man? My biggest gripe with it is that Robin Hood has such a strong ability, and he should have such a strong ability because he's the main hero. But being that you have to defeat him to win the game, they kind of just made his goal like, when you defeat Robin Hood, do this, and didn't give him no ability. They gave his ability. They took Little John's really good ability from Robin Hood, they took Prince John's really good ability, took that away, and gave him Robin Hood's old ability. All right, Pete once again does not get that goal, but I'm going to go over to Podunk Landing. Gain 3. I'm going to spend 6. I got 3 more bandits to play. So I'm going to play 2 bandits here. I'm actually going to play all 3 bandits here. And then I'm going to spend 3 to play Airstrike. And I'm just going to fly an airplane into Goofy's face. Bye-bye. And that makes me end my turn. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dude, Pete's board is looking insane right now. But Pete is at win condition. Oh, wait. No, what am I doing? No, I forgot. The gold tokens got switched. I did that too. Yeah, we're going to play him like that then. Yeah, that's right. Alright, we draw Sneaky Pete, Stolen Cargo, Bank Loot, and Outrage. Man, Steamboat Willie's really low in the deck down here. Alright, yeah. No more hiccups like that. It's early. It's early in the morning. Still, still pretty tired here. Alright, Prince John, in fact, did not win. So I think what I do is I move Sheriff of Nottingham over. I go over to Nottingham. I'm going to vanquish Little John with these Wolf Archers and Sheriff. Now, the thing is, the arrow, I'm only going to get 1 power from it because of Robin Hood, but I think I don't gain the power. I already had the power from Little John. I just get it back. I don't think I gain any power, so I think I'm pretty sure I gain the full amount back. So that puts me at 22. At least I think that's how that works. Because it just says the amount of power that Prince John gains from each card or action. Each card or action. That wasn't a card or action, so yeah, I'm just going to gain the full thing back. Alright. And that puts Prince John back at win condition. Pete's at win condition. Nobody else is. Man, Pete was the underdog this game. But Pete really brought it through. While also having pretty much every ally in his deck on his board right now. Except the one lonely bandit that got discarded from a play game card. Alright. I'm going to go to... I need a fate. I'm going to go to Ursula's Lair. Gain 1. I'm going to move the crown over. I'm going to play... I'm going to gain 1. I'm going to spend 1 to play Grow Giant. I'm going to do 2 fate actions this turn. First, I'm going to fate Pete, and then I'm going to fate Prince John. So first, let's start off by fating Pete. We get Tired and Hide. I can discard a bandit. I'm going to discard 1 single bandit from the airport. And Prince John is now getting fated. We draw a Clever Disguise and a Steal from the Rich. I'm going to play Steal from the Rich. That 4 power is going to go to Robin Hood. Obviously, that's the next best character to put it on. And that's it. Ursula just Growing Giant and Lane Waste to the 2 villains at win condition, making sure that they are no longer at win condition anymore. And she is the first villain who has to reshuffle her deck. And she draws a Trickery, which she will also use. Alright. Over here at Skull Rock. But we're actually moving. Prince John did defeat a hero, so I'm actually going to play Obsession. Reveal cards from your fate deck to reveal a hero. Either play that hero or discard the hero. Discard the rest. We draw Taunt. Taunt. Lost Boys. I'm going to choose to discard the hero, and we discard the rest. So, I'm going to go over to the Mermaid Lagoon. Gain 3, spend 3. I'm going to play a Pirate Brute to Skull Rock. I'm going to play Pirate Brute here. I'm going to use the cannon over here to vanquish Wendy. Might as well. And I'm going to spend 1 to play Give Him a Scare. And we get John and TikTok. No, do not want TikTok. Man, there's like, how many cards are left in the Fate deck? 5? 5 or 6? There's 5 cards left in his Fate deck. One of them is Peter Pan. Wonder where he's at. He has 2 worthy opponents left. And how many heroes he's got? You guys still got Tinkerbell? I think he's still got Tinkerbell. I think it's just Tinkerbell and Peter Pan left. All right, we get Obsession, Cunning, and worthy opponent. All right. And this game might be the most competitive one yet. Back over the Madam Mim here. I am going to go... I'm going to go to Woods, gain 2. I'm going to spend 2 to play Elephant Mim to Mim's Cottage. And then I'm going to Fate. Who do I want to Fate? I'm going to Fate Pete again. And we get Outlawed and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Might as well play Oswald. Let's play him in the Frontier Town. Alright, and the card we draw is Rattlesnake Mim. Wonder where Dragon's at. Alright, over to Pete. Pete does get 1 goal. He gets Rule the Realm. Start your turn with more allies than heroes at this location. And I'm going to go to Frontier Town. I'm going to vanquish Oswald with these guys. He's gone. I'm going to move a bandit from Podunk over to the airport. And I'm going to play Sneaky Pete just for the hell of it. I draw Steamboat Willie and a horse. I'm going to put Outrage on the bottom of the deck. So I don't want Outrage. And that'll be it for Pete. Back over here now to Prince John. Prince John 2 is going to need to Fate somebody eventually. I think I just go over to jail, gain 3, spend 3 to play some Rhino Guards to the jail, and discard 2 cards, and that'll be it. I draw 2, and then I have to reshuffle. This went from a pretty boring start of a game to a very competitive and fun game. Every villain that has been close to winning at this point has got screwed over multiple times. Pete, Prince John, and Madam Mim was even getting a little close there from time to time. Not like close to winning. This is the closest she's been all game, but like there's been some stuff that hurt her along the way. Captain Hook's just moving slow because Peter Pan decided he wanted to be at the bottom of the deck. It was Prince John's turn, so I will play Trickery. Draw a top card. Let's see if I get another Steal from Rich. I get a Clever Disguise. I'm going to Clever Disguise on Robin Hood. So Prince John has to pay 2 power to defeat Robin Hood. Alright. And we pretty much get nothing. I'm just gonna go to the palace. I'm gonna move the Trident over. And that's gonna be it. I'm gonna draw back up. We get a Grow Giant. We'll gain 2, obviously, to keep the 2. Now, the thing is, Ursula doesn't have to start her turn. That's the thing about Ursula that I just remembered. She doesn't have to start her turn. She just has to have that there. So she has the potential to win in 2 turns. Just automatically. She's also getting closer than one might think. Nobody defeated any heroes. So Captain Hook's kind of alone on that. Might as well play Cunning because Ursula had an ally. I was playing our Swashbuckler for free down to the Jolly Roger. I'm going to go over to Skull Rock, gain 1, spend nothing to play Worthy Opponent to gain 2. And let's see if we could get Peter Pan. Pixie Dust. Peter Pan, there he is. In the flesh, or the cardboard, or the paper. Finally coming out to play. Alright. And with that, I am able to discard Obsession happily, because I don't need it anymore. And we're going to Fate. Let's Fate Madam Mim. Madam Mim. We get Knowledge and Wisdom and Knowledge and Wisdom. Alright. I'm just going to move Walrus all the way over to the swamp then. And we draw a Worthy Opponent, a Mr. Starkey. Worthy Opponent was the bottom card. Have to reshuffle real quick. Alright. We get Obsession and Cunning. Alright. I think we're getting close to literally everybody. They're all... this might be the most neck-and-neck game so far. This game has been insane. But I think it's about time we fudge. Alright. Go over here. I'm going to move Elephant over to the dueling round. I'm going to move Walrus over. And I am going to gain 2, spend 1 to play Rattlesnake. And I'm going to use it to vanquish. Use Elephant to vanquish Walrus. And all that's left is the goat. The goat. And we draw Battle of the Wits. Alright. That is Madam Mim's turn. Over to Pete. And Pete is our first winner. He gets Roundup. Start your turn with 10 or more strength at this location. He has 3 bandits equaling 9 and 1 cricket, adding the extra 1 that they needed at that location. What was the next fate? If we fated Pete again, it would have been Minnie and Hyde. That would have done something. Maybe if we had more fate actions. But Pete, who for the first half of this game was the underdog and seemed like he had no chance in winning compared to all the other villains, coming out as the first winner. Absolute cinema. Very happy that he gets to stay in the tournament because most of the tournaments that I do by myself or with friends, Pete doesn't last very long. But Pete is our first winner here. Thank God he didn't have that item goal. If he had that item goal instead of like... I think what honestly really helped Pete was the fact that not getting all the bandits until the end and being able to build up all that power until then and being able to play all of them really helped him there. He just had an absolutely stacked amount of allies on his board. Alright, over to Prince John now. Pete definitely had 3 or more allies on his board. If I could play an ally from my hand for free, I'm going to play Nutsy, too. And they'll actually gain +1 strength, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to vanquish Robin Hood. First, I got to spend 2 power to vanquish Robin Hood. Then I can do it. I get to use just the Rhino Guards this time. And that'll give me this power back. And that'll actually put Prince John at win condition. Robin Hood is finally gone, thank God. Alright, but here begs the question, who is not winning this game? Alright. Back over to Ursula. And I'm going to... I think I just go to the lair. I move the Trident over. And then... I think I just gain 1 in Fate. The Fate token is gone. It disappears with the first villain winning. So I can Fate Madam Mim again. It would make the most sense to Fate her or Prince John, because they're both pretty much at win condition. But I think Madam Mim could have a chance. As I know, let's be real. There is no stopping her, because we can't really put a transformation back unless Captain Hook does take the time to Fate her, which I think that he will. We could potentially do something. So I think I am going to Fate Madam Mim, but it is Germ Merlin and Knowledge and Wisdom. I'm going to use Germ Merlin, get rid of Rattlesnake, though it doesn't really matter. And with that, it is Captain Hook's turn. Alright. I'm going to go over to the Lost Boys hideout. I'm going to move Peter Pan over. I'm going to use the ingenious device to move him over. And I'm going to gain 2 and spend 2 to play Mr. Starkey to move him over. And then I'm going to Fate Madam Mim. Alright, let's see what we get here. If we could get Merlin, Madam Mim might not win this after all. Well, let's see here. What do we get here? We get Knowledge and Wisdom, and Knowledge is Wisdom. No. Oh, man. Alright. Well, we'll move Goat. Let's move Goat over to the swamp. Right, Madam Mim is going to go over there, and this game is going to end in the most boring way possible, with her gaining 1 and spending 4 to play. I'll make the rules to take out the last transformation, which is a very boring way to go out. Really would have liked to use Purple Dragon, but they were the second to the last card. Madam Mim is our second winner, who I projected to actually be the first winner. Yep. I mean, it's done, and I think this is actually going to start a chain reaction where everybody but Captain Hook wins. Because Madam Mim has won. Now Prince John is at win condition. So Prince John also now wins. He becomes our third winner here. He's gained that 20 power. He also had Greed, which he could, I think, in his hand, which he could have also used on Captain Hook. Yep. And Ursula is going to go over to the palace, move the crown into Ursula's lair, and that is going to be her winning, becoming the 4th winner of the match, and thus eliminating Captain Hook from the tournament entirely. Which, as unfortunate as to say, Captain Hook was a victim of the turn order. Because besides Pete, everybody here won exactly one turn after another. Captain Hook was going to win. Madam Mim won because she was first, and then Captain Hook, and then Ursula, and then it would have been Captain Hook, one after another. This is what I think is the closest game of all 5 matches we've played in this tournament so far. This game has been extremely close, which I really like. I like the fact that this game was really close. Captain Hook was also, unfortunately, it just wasn't in the cards for Captain Hook. All of his cards that he needed were in the bottom half of his deck, and Peter Pan was also within the bottom 4 cards of his Fate deck. So Captain Hook just kind of had a bad shuffle. Sucks to see him go. He is one of my favorites, especially in the green set. But let me know what you thought of this match. Captain Hook, we will not be seeing him again, but in the next round you will be seeing Madam Mim, Pete, Ursula, and Prince John at some point. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.